Some things should never be disturbed. Some things should never be touched. Emma Holloway stands before a towering, decayed mansion, hidden deep within the rural countryside. It is her inheritance, left to her by a great aunt she never knew. The mansion is old, Victorian architecture, long abandoned, its windows like empty eyes watching her. The wind howls through the dead trees surrounding it. She steps inside. The air is thick with dust and the scent of something rotting. The wooden floor groans beneath her weight, but what truly unnerves her is the feeling that she is not alone. That night, Emma explores the house. She finds a locked attic door, one that shouldn't be locked since no one has lived here for decades. The key is already in the lock. Inside, the attic is a graveyard of forgotten things. White sheets cover old furniture, and the air is thick with the scent of decay. In the center of the attic, she sees it, a wooden chest covered in dust and strange scratches. She hesitates, then opens it. Inside, wrapped in yellowed lace, is a porcelain doll. The doll is eerily perfect, except for a single hairline crack running down its cheek. Its glass eyes glisten unnaturally. A faded note falls from the chest. It reads, "She must never wake." Emma laughs nervously. Just a doll, right? She takes it downstairs, unaware that the air in the attic has suddenly gone still. That night, as she sleeps, Emma hears a soft tapping. At first, she thinks it's the wind against the window, until she realizes it's coming from inside the house. She walks into the hallway. Her breath catches. The doll is no longer in the living room. It is sitting at the top of the staircase, its head tilted slightly, its glass eyes staring right at her. Emma swallows her fear. I must have forgotten moving it. She places it back on the chair and returns to bed. The next morning, Emma walks into the kitchen and stops cold. The doll is sitting on the counter, its tiny porcelain hand pressed against the window, as if it was watching something outside. Emma's blood runs cold. She grabs the doll and throws it into a cabinet. Enough of this. That night, Emma dreams of a little girl in a Victorian dress, standing in the attic, whispering her name. She wakes to soft giggling. Her body goes rigid. She turns her head. The doll is sitting on her bed, its lips parted, as if it had just spoken. Emma screams. Emma researches the house. The doll belonged to Eleanor Blackwood, a little girl who died mysteriously in the mansion over a century ago. Rumors said her soul was trapped in the doll. Every previous owner of the house had either disappeared or went mad. That night, the doll whispers her name. From the shadows of the room, something moves, something small, something that giggles. Emma decides to burn the doll. She throws it into the fireplace, but the flames die instantly. A cold voice whispers behind her, "You shouldn't have done that." She whirls around. The doll is standing upright on the mantelpiece, its cracked face illuminated by dying embers. Emma runs for the door, but it won't open. The windows won't break. She is trapped. Emma hears soft, shuffling footsteps. She turns. A small, shadowy figure stands in the hallway. A child, but its eyes are hollow. Its mouth is stitched shut, and it is holding the doll. Emma screams. Everything goes black. Days later, a real estate agent arrives at the mansion, looking for Emma. The house is silent, empty. Only one thing remains in the living room. A porcelain doll, sitting in a chair, its glass blue eyes staring, its lips slightly parted, as if it is about to speak. Days pass. The real estate agent, Daniel Whitmore, stands before the Holloway mansion. It is silent, abandoned. Emma is gone. No sign of her. Inside, the mansion is untouched, but wrong. The air is too still. The dust in the corners undisturbed, as if time has frozen. Only one thing sits in the middle of the room. The porcelain doll. Daniel steps forward. The wood creaks beneath him. He hesitates, looking into its glassy blue eyes. For a moment, he swears he hears it. A whisper. "Stay with me." Daniel stumbles back. Something is behind him. A little girl's breath against his neck. Daniel is not the only one searching. A reporter, Vanessa Crowley, is investigating a pattern. The Holloway mansion is not just another haunted house. The last 5 owners have vanished. In 1912, the entire Blackwood family disappeared overnight. Every case has one thing in common: a single porcelain doll, always found sitting in the center of the house after the owner disappears. But there's more. The doll has existed for longer than records can trace. It was not made, it was found, buried beneath the house's foundation, centuries before it was even built. Vanessa arrives at the mansion at dusk. She steps inside, her flashlight cutting through the dark. The house is dead silent. But then, she hears it. A soft giggle. Her light flickers. The doll is on the staircase. She swears it wasn't there before. Then, footsteps above. Not human ones. Small, fast, skittering. Something is in the walls. Something that breathes. Vanessa finds an ancient, rotting tapestry in the attic. A depiction of a forgotten ritual. It shows figures in robes, kneeling before a cracked porcelain idol. Eyes gouged out, mouths stitched shut. And at the center of the tapestry, the doll. The exact doll that sits downstairs. Its crack in the same place. Its blue eyes, unnatural and knowing. The air grows thick. The shadows move on their own. Vanessa turns, and the doll is right there. Its lips move. No sound comes out. But inside Vanessa's mind, she hears it. "Let me out." Her nose begins to bleed. The walls around her ripple. Reality is bending. The doll is not just a doll, it is a prison. For something ancient, something that should never be freed. The walls groan. The doors slam shut. Vanessa runs, but the hallways stretch impossibly long. The doll is now everywhere, on the staircase, in the windows, behind her, ahead of her. It is all the same doll. The house is shifting, changing. It has been waiting. Not to keep people out, to keep something in. Vanessa collapses in the living room. And then, she sees her. Emma. Standing in the shadows. Her eyes are hollow. Her face is stitched at the mouth. Her hands grip the doll like a lifeline. And in a voice not her own, she whispers, "You should have left." Vanessa runs. The doll is laughing now. The air warps. The walls twist and turn like flesh. The front door is right there, so close. She reaches for it. And then, everything goes dark. A new real estate listing. The Holloway mansion is on the market again. No mention of Emma. No mention of Vanessa. Only one thing remains in the house. Sitting in the center of the room. A porcelain doll. Its glass blue eyes shining. Its lips slightly parted, as if it is about to whisper again. The doll is not haunted. It is a vessel. A prison for something far older and darker. The house is a trap. A cage built to contain whatever is inside the doll. Those who stay too long become part of the house, like Emma. The cycle never ends. The moment Claire brought the doll home, the house changed. It wasn't the creaking floors or the flickering lights. It was something deeper, something unseen. At first, it was just a feeling, a shiver down the spine whenever Lilith's icy blue eyes met hers. But then, things started moving. Emily swore she left the doll on the shelf, yet every morning, it sat closer to her bed. Some nights, she could hear faint whispers, her name curling through the darkness like a breath against her ear. And then came the scratches on the floor, the laughter in the walls. By the time Claire realized the truth, it was too late. Lilith was already inside. The old antique shop sat at the corner of Blackwood Street, shrouded in dust and forgotten memories. It was here that Emily's mother, Claire, found the doll, porcelain-skinned with icy blue eyes that gleamed unnaturally under the dim store lights. The doll's platinum blonde hair flowed in elegant waves down its back, and it wore a shimmering deep purple gown that seemed to shift hues in the light. Claire was captivated. "Perfect for Emily," she murmured. ignoring the way the shopkeeper's expression darkened. As Claire placed the doll in the bag, the elderly owner's voice trembled. "That is not a toy. It's called Lilith. Keep it locked away at night." Claire laughed off the warning and took the doll home. That night she presented Lilith to Emily, who gasped in awe at its beauty. "I love her," Emily exclaimed, hugging the doll tight. But as her mother turned to leave, she could swear Lilith's glassy eyes flickered. Just for a second. That night, as Emily slept, the room grew unnaturally cold. The air felt dense, heavy, as though something unseen was watching. The doll sat on the shelf, unmoving, its frozen smile unchanging. But at precisely 3:13 a.m., the room grew deathly silent. Emily stirred in her sleep. The doll, which had been perched neatly on the shelf, was now sitting on the floor facing her bed. Its hands were positioned differently, as though reaching out. The closet door creaked open. A whisper, soft, almost melodic, brushed against Emily's ear. "Emily?" Her eyes shot open. The doll was now on her bed, resting against her pillow. Its sapphire eyes gleamed in the darkness. With a scream, Emily threw Lilith across the room. Claire rushed in, flipping on the lights. The doll sat innocently by the window, exactly where it had been before bedtime. "Sweetheart, you were dreaming," Claire reassured, tucking her daughter in. But Emily knew better. The next few days were a nightmare. Objects in the house moved inexplicably. Emily's toys were found torn apart, as if by small, clawed hands. The television turned on at night, always showing static and faint whispers. Claire found deep scratches on the wooden floor, leading toward Emily's room. One evening, while folding laundry, Claire heard the bathroom faucet running. But when she walked in, she froze. Lilith was sitting on the bathroom counter, her tiny porcelain hand resting against the mirror. Scrawled in dripping water were the words, "Let me in." Claire grabbed the doll, ready to throw it away. But the moment she touched it, an unbearable chill spread through her veins. A whisper coiled around her mind. "You are mine now." That night, Emily woke up to the sound of laughter. But it wasn't hers. She turned, and Lilith was standing on her nightstand. Not sitting, standing. Its painted lips curled into a grin too wide for its face, its glass eyes pulsating with an eerie glow. Emily screamed as the doll's porcelain fingers twitched, its tiny legs moving on their own. The room temperature dropped below freezing, her breath visible in the air. The doll whispered her name over and over, its voice growing deeper, guttural, inhuman. Claire burst in, flipping on the lights, but Lilith was nowhere to be found. Only a small, icy handprint remained on the bedsheet. Desperate, Claire called a priest. The priest, Father Daniel, arrived the next day. The moment he stepped into the house, he shuddered. "This thing, it's ancient," he murmured. "It's not just haunted, it's cursed." Lilith sat in the center of the living room, as though waiting. Its sapphire eyes flickered, a knowing look in their depths. The priest began to pray. The house shook violently, furniture crashing to the floor. A high-pitched scream erupted from the doll as its body twisted and convulsed, its limbs snapping unnaturally. And then, silence. When the dust settled, the doll lay still. Its once vibrant eyes were now dull. Father Daniel wrapped it in cloth. This must be sealed away, forever. Claire and Emily never spoke of it again. But miles away, in another antique shop, a new doll appeared on the shelf. A porcelain-skinned beauty with platinum blonde hair and a deep purple gown. Waiting. Watching. Smiling. Miles away, in a quiet little antique shop, a new doll appeared on the highest shelf. Porcelain skin, platinum blonde hair, a flowing deep purple gown that shimmered under the dim store lights. Her icy blue eyes gleamed, waiting, watching. And as the shopkeeper turned off the lights for the night, the doll's lips twitched, just a fraction, into the faintest hint of a smile. She had found a new home.